Hello everyone, welcome to What If Issei joined Multiversal battle with Deku, Bell, Kirito, and Jaune movie. Before we start, please go support JoestarGhoulZ for writing that awesome fanfic. This is the translated version I made. There will be some mistake in character's gender, but of course Issei's 7 others are male. Clash 0, Prologue, The Fall of the UA. The camera turns on showing a starry sky. What would life be like for stars, peace, harmony, balance? No, it's not like that, especially a planet. Then it is shown that an Earth appeared. Earth, the third planet in the solar system that evolved and gave birth to biological life forms which they themselves destroy and kill each other. Then that Earth cracks and then explodes. But not only on that Earth, but also on different Earths in each universe. And as he said, it shows how some lands go through the same thing but in different ways. Biological life forms have become the planet's killers, and that includes their self-proclaimed gods. They have destroyed themselves, blaming them for making them feel inferior. But this ended when we united one, or rather, several Earths. It is shown that they appear as about 4 Earths. Above all, in those lands there is more than one connected and more that hold the key to our utopia. Where those lands are, they appear as 4 colored gems that shone and emanated an aura that looked powerful. When we locate those keys, we will unite all the lands. The gems were put together as well as the lands and others to show a bigger land. To be our world, a world of metal or machines. And then the Earth, or rather the continents, become meta and with purple cracks. That will be the beginning of a new universe where flesh will be replaced by metal. Without beings, elders, gods, children, or even biological life forms, because I know we are everything, we are order, we are tomorrow, and we are your new god. Tiara My Hero Academia Tokyo. In a part of Tokyo, 3 boys are seen. A green-haired boy with freckles, a brown-haired girl with chubby cheeks, and with them a black-haired boy who had a black cap and was wearing the Shiketsu Academy uniform. Green-haired girl, incredible that we're finally about to graduate. Chestnut hair, hi Izuku, and will be the best, you and I smile. Izuku, you think nervous? Black-haired, do you doubt your girlfriend Izuku? Izuku, no, I'm not saying that, since we don't know if we'll be the best heroes when we graduate because, well, you know. Black-haired, you're still thinking about those idiots from the UA. You forget that I could have gotten you out and shown the evidence, and said that they are useless people that people don't see or don't believe. Ochako, go to the brown-haired girl. Ochako, Hai is right. It is better to continue with our future, and also we can help our parents. Izuku, you're right. Goes to the black-haired man. Thanks for the support, Aaron. Aaron, you're welcome, my friend smiles. But they see that on some screens in the city it is transmitted that in Mafatsu or some parts of Japan there is a lot of activity of attacks by the League of Villains and led by Shigaraki. Aaron, wow, the League has been moving very fast lately. Ochako, hello? Izuku sees his hand that emanated green rays and they go out. I still haven't recovered when they took half of the power. Reporter, but the biggest question, can we trust our UA heroes? The question is no, she said, surprising everyone. We all know that now the heroes are starting to doubt. For example, the secret of Dabi, who turned out to be the dead son of Endeavor, and how he treated his family. Then how number 2 Hawks killed a villain for no reason or stopped defending himself and approved by the government of heroes, or this how the UA, or rather one of its students, was going to be sent to Tartarus due to a trap made by the UA to get him out because that student earned some prestige for his heroism. And speaking of that, the UA is declining due to the activities of its students, including destruction, incomplete work, and many demands for harassment and abuse towards the Quirkless and other supers. But it is also said that they plan to take out Class B because they believe they are weak and the general courses for being useless. The truth is we do not know what to do about it. Ochako, damn, they are in such bad shape. Aaron, I'm not surprised by that. We better go to Inko-san's cafe. Ochako, above all, we must help him. But it's good that Rei-san supports him. Izuku, yes, let's go. The 3 left, unaware that anything had happened at the UA. And Mafatsu. At the entrance of the UA you can see some people with offensive signs towards the UA, and among them are parents of the students who are abused by the others. Present, Chael outside is bigger than last time. Cementas. This is very, very bad. Ectoplams. And we already know who's to blame. The remaining teachers look at the principal, who was nervously looking at some papers. Nizu, this can't be happening. If recovery, you must have thought this was having serious consequences, but you didn't pay attention. 13. AI and also many teachers resigned and students are taken out by their parents because they do not trust what you do. Even Namuri and Almight resigned on the same day as Class A, Well, most of them wanted to set a trap for young Midoriya, and you agreed that they send him to Tartarus because he is dangerous. Annoyed. Present Mike, you're right, Director. We're in a crisis, and they're arrogant and spoiled, but they and other heroes also agreed. Cement us. And what can we do? And, Kaya. They heard that to see that they are being attacked by Nomus and some villains. Vlad, they must be bucking this up. Nizu, call the students and the heroes and act fast. Everyone left without protest, but Nizu calls Power Load. Nizu, Power Load is ready, the project they offered him. Power Load. It's almost ready, but I'm still wondering where these parts came from or who sent them, because it gives me a bit of a bad feeling. Nizu, don't question, just prepare everything to help the students and the heroes and maintain the pride of the academy. Power Load, whatever you say, cut. Nizu, if we can at least stop this, we'll be able to uphold UA's pride. Tokyo. Eren and his partner arrived at a cafe and restaurant, and were greeted by a thin woman. Eren, hola Inko-san. Inko, Aijo. Izuku and my daughter arrived too. Ochako. Hello mother-in-law, they're not open yet. Inko, no, we are still preparing to open the place. Izuku, yes Rei-san. Rei arrives here. Izuku. Eren, watches the news. Seriously. Everyone watches the news, so they have an annoyed face since there you see the League's attack against the UA. Rei, now I see why it was a nuisance, they really don't know anything else to do. Ochako, hello. Inko, by the way, and your father Izuku? Izuku. He's at the academy reviewing some papers for graduation, but he'll arrive any moment. Inko, I see. Eren, well, we helped them prepare the restaurant. Inko, thanks Aijo. At the UA, a battle was taking place, but they look very tired from fighting the Nomus and the villains, led by Dabi. Dabi, they are seriously weak, and you Shoto are still the same. Looks at his brother with a mocking smile. Shoto, tch. Dabi. And more than that, his academy is declining due to the actions of those you see as companions. How pathetic. Katsuki, shut up, it's just these idiots. Crappy buck UPS. Dabi, aren't you supposed to hate Midoriya? But what at Sundara, mockingly. Ida, don't mention that. And Mineta, shut up Ida, you know he's a monster. And Kyoka, shut up, annoyed. Dabi, you know I don't have time for this. Sees the villains. Better attack so he has fun. Ugh. They heard that to see that a villain falls to his knees, but they see with shock that he had a hole in his chest and falls dead. All, hey, Dabi, what the hell? Spinel, hey Dabi, what is that? Everyone sees that something was coming from the sky, and they see with surprise that they arrived as silver and somewhat advanced robots, while they had purple lights that shone on their body and eyes and mouth. All 8 surprised. Sin, what are those robots? Curious. Kamakiri, I don't know if they're from the UA. Ojiro, by the way, they are heroes. Present Mike, I have a bad feeling. Ectoplams, me too. Dabi, jump, take a name. Anomu took one of the robots to split it in two, but when he did it, a kind of purple powder came out that the Nomu inhaled. Dabi, I'm such a moron. Spinel, whoever did it is an idiot. Villani, hey, something's wrong with the Nomu. Dabi, what are you saying? But they see that it seems like he's colliding while emanating a purple aura, and they are surprised because his body has metal plates with purple veins. Even his eyes are purple, so he can't stay still. Everyone's surprised. Vlad, what just passed that Nomu? 13_ maybe evolution. Hound, no SE. Villain, ha, what a surprise, now maybe there are more of us. It didn't end because the villain died crushed by a blow from the Nomu that left everyone stunned, so that he gave a loud roar that was launched, and the robots also shooting and killing some villains and heroes nearby. Todoroki, what is this? Kirishima, perhaps that Anomu is killing those villains and Nomus. Denki, something's not right. Ida, what could this be? Momo, looks carefully as a villain destroyed a robot. Villain, ha, now Tin can't beat me. Smiles. Toru, hey Momo, what are you doing? Momo, I'm seeing how. Notices that a powder came out and the villain inhales it without knowing it. Look, they see that the villain went through the same thing as the Nomu, and some villains and heroes are the same, attacking anyone, even civilians. Setsuna, perhaps they. Momo, those robots have a kind of virus that controls them. Tokyo, everything is ready to open, but they are surprised to see what was happening on the news. Ochako, and where did those robots come from? Rei, is he from the League? Izuku, I don't think so, because they are attacking the villains and the heroes without mentioning that in some way the villains, Nomus and heroes are attacking them. Eren, the robots have a virus plus. Ochako, are you sure Aijo? Eren, High because when they destroyed some robots they released a powder, and having that result. Inko, you're right, but where do they come from? Eren, I don't know the truth. Back to the UA. Stasuna, seriously, what the hell is going on? Kendo, I don't know, kicks one of the robots, nor do I know which side we're on. Simple, the side that will be the slaves and cattle. They heard that to see a man in silver armor and a green cape or tunic coming flying. Dabi, who are you, Tin Man? : So your primitive brain understands I am the most powerful king in the world, or better yet, call me Dr. Doom. Pony, you look that scary, rubbing her arms, I got cold calluses. Manga, goosebumps. Pony, that's it. A Tokyo. Ochako. Okay, that looks very scared, especially that name, I admit. Ray, hi, and judging by his tone, it doesn't seem like he looks like all the villains in Japan. This one looks more terrifying than AFO, nervous. Izuku, but will it be a new villain, or who created those robots? Eren, I don't know, but I don't like something about this, seriously. Izuku, me neither, seriously. At the UA, everyone watched closely the arrival of the villain called Dr. Doom, and it goes without saying that many were scared of how he looked, and even some villains. Dabi, ha, Dr. Doom, what kind of name is that? Mockingly. Doom, something that you primitives of this world will not understand, and more so that I am at your level. Dabi, ha, then try this, throws his flames. Although they didn't expect it, Doom created a green FOMO that protected itself from Todoroki's crybaby fire. Shoto, surprised. Doom, what a pathetic attack for someone who cries. Dabi, what are you saying, AMI? Doom, you were just jealous that your father, the #1 hero who abused your family, paid attention to your younger brother who worried along with your brothers just because he was stronger, and ignoring the fact that your flames were dangerous. That's pathetic in my opinion. Dabi, clenching his fist. Spinel, don't believe me for saying that. Doom _ to me it's pathetic that you claim to be a liberator like that hero killer, that you're on the wrong side to follow his legacy. That's very pathetic. Spinel, growling, annoyed, damn it. He launched himself at Doom, but a controlled Noma hit him hard and knocked him to the ground. Doom, jum, the villains here are really pathetic, sees a clock, and those heroes were damned. Power load, arrives with Mei, director, it's ready. Nizu, good thing they brought it. Mei, here it goes. Everyone sees that something arrived, to be surprised to see a robot that surpasses almost 0 points and looked like a human. Purple or blue and violet and yellow lights. Mei, here is the baby they call Sentinel, smiles with excitement. All 8 surprised. A Tokyo. Ochako, hey, that's a lot bigger than 0 points, but where did they get the money for that? Ray, more like where they got the materials to build them, since the UA has also been declining monetarily. Inko, I don't know, but I have a bad feeling about that robot. Eren, something's wrong with this. Izuku, conscious. At the UA, Mineta, what is that? Did you not think of creating a robbery? Gets a lick. Toru, via robot. Mina, maybe with that we will win. Doom, jum, laugh in low voice. Semitas, what is that? Recovery. This is what they've been working on. Nizu, with this we can at least regain a little of the people's approval. Shoto, tch. Monoma, ha, they will feel the fear, and of the CLA8 receives a Kendo hit. Kendo, shut up, and it shocks me that he would be the only one who wouldn't be expelled, but we would be annoyed. But you see that the Sentinel seemed to be scanning until it stopped. Sentinel, threats detected. Mei, okay, Sentinel now, sees the Sentinel raise his hand towards a hero. Hero, hey, what are you doing? But they watched in horror as the robot fired a ray that killed the villain. Sentinel, mutant eliminated, see all. Eliminate the mutant threat. Sentinels will rise up and finish the mutants. All, hey, present Mike, Daijo Sentinels. And they see that the UA explodes apart, and many Sentinels come out, and they began to attack and kill heroes, villains and civilians with powers. Dabi, what is this? Doom, jum, well, it's the beginning of a new era, especially with the Sentinels. Present me, you know them. Doom, of course we sent you the Sentinel plans and materials, and the rat accepted it without question so that his pathetic academy would look good. Now everyone watching the news was stunned and upset by what was happening, but the Sentinels attacked the UA because of the students, and destroyed the academy. Nizu, Adenito. Doom, that's enough, go to the Sentinel. It's time to go and look for the objective while you kill more mutants. Sentinel, affirmative. He makes some sounds and the Sentinels fly away. Doom, enjoy this because there will be no one left to save you. Have condemned your world for your idiocy. See you, heroes, and villains. Doom begins to fly, followed by robots and possessed people, and Nomus leaving what was left of the UA, and the villains took advantage of that. Rin, what just happened? Kuro, no se. Tokoyami, Akaso. Momo, sees the disaster and injured people. It can't be. Kyoka, this could be. Mizu falls to his knees. It's the end of UA. A Tokyo. Those present were astonished, especially the customers who were waiting for the door to open and watching the news on their phones or on the screens outside. They were speechless. Ochako, that they did. Rei, they created robots and destroyed and killed innocent people. Izuku, especially since that villain was the one who gave them everything. Inko, let's try to think, and also we have to open. Ochako, hello? Everyone started working. But that same day, without knowing that everything is the beginning of changes and clashes or collisions of heroes on infinite Earths. Clash 1, Prologue 2, Fall of the Demon Capital. DXD Earth, Kyoto City. In a park in the beautiful city of Kyoto, you can see a brown-haired boy and a beautiful red-haired girl walking hand in hand. Chestnut, it's a beautiful day, or don't you think, Rias? Rias. Hi Issei, it's another beautiful day here. Issei, above all, you smile and that makes me happy. Smiles. Rias, what are you saying? Silly. Smiles. Issei, sees people walking happily. Rias, you're still thinking about that. Issei, why lie to you? It's been months since that day. Annoyed and rubbing his arm. Rias, okay. Issei, takes Issei's arm. Since that day it was shown that they only appreciated the dragon and not the boy I love, and well, I share with those who do appreciate it. He laughs amusedly. Issei, hi Jejej, you're right, and Drake is surely trying to recover the energy that his body now has back. Rias, hi, sees a clock. It would be better to go to the store before opening it. We will see what happens. Issei, it would be better to go there. It's a shame you're forbidden from setting foot in your home. Rias, I know, but at least I have the support of my family. Issei, well, let's not say more. Both couple walk until they reach a kind of establishment that was like an oriental cafe that had a name like the Kitsune Hostel. And they open the door. Issei, we're here. Ah, you're back, guys. He said that she arrived as a kind of beautiful 30-year-old kitsune, with black hair, 9 soft, furry tails, and wearing a red kimono. Rias, we arrived on time. Ari-san. Ari, if you mean for that day, or if. Issei, and Yasaka I think you would see here. Ari sighs. She left since she was invited there, but don't worry, Kunu is with me. The mentioned kitsune girl comes out. Kitsune Ola. Issei, and the others haven't arrived yet. Issei Nissen has arrived. Issei Asia, welcome, and you too Kaneko. Kaneko, hello Oni-chan. Asia, it's about time. Curious. Ari missing, and welcome Akino. Akino arrives, and I arrived just in time. Issei, hi Akino, goes to the fall, and you've already arrived. Kenichi, he said, seeing that a redhead with black tips and marks almost like whiskers arrived. Kenichi, well, here I am. Brother-in-law, he said mockingly while being hugged by the Nikomata. Kaneko, Kenichi-senpai's whine. Ari, well, here we go. She summons a magic circle, and where the capital of Lilith is shown. Ari, and now the hero ceremony begins. Kenichi, what disgusts me is that it has my last name, and that disgusts me. With disgust. In the capital Lilith underworld. You can see how in the capital they were in a kind of celebration with many demons, but what stood out was that there was a blonde with mustache marks, but they sounded like why bother, and if it's a Naruto Uzumaki. Naruto, ha, here I am a hero, smiles with confidence and pride. Author, can you explain to me why he is here if the shocking theme of this FIC does not happen? Author, since as it seems you see this Naruto is after his fight against Kaguya, but out of nowhere he is absorbed, and when he met everyone before the war against the Naruto brigade he heard a voice that tempted him, or tried to make him be the hero and keep everything, and then you can imagine the rest, and those who are on his side is the council of demons, and some of his allies, but anyway the part of those who joined him well. Zenobia, Luffy, Kuroka, Kates, Murayama, Joan of Arc, Sona, and almost her entourage. Although they wondered where Irina, Ravel, and Rosweiss are, it is simple that Irina would never be with him since she is Issei's guardian angel, and that would be a sin along with Michael and his brothers. Ravel was forced to leave the Gremmeries in favor of the council, but the Phoenix forbade her to approach her daughter until Ryza threatened the blonde not to approach his pieces and his wife Eubelina, and Ross she was forced to stop being Rias's tower, although the good side returned to being a Valkyrie of Asgard. But anyway, Naruto earning the credit saying that he is the strongest anyway. Let's start with this. Well, Everyone cheered for the blonde along with their bitches, but some were not satisfied and they were leaders of each faction. Azazel, TCH, and they said I was unbearable. Odin, and I'm a pervert. Yasaka, and the worst thing is that blonde guy thinks we should be together just because we're foxes. Or rather, he only has one. Annoyed. Sir Shay, just calm down, then we'll see what to do since you forgot our secret weapon that we were keeping. Leaders, yes. Ross, just hold on just a little longer, and I don't finish because they see that Naruto was trying to look cooler and attract the attention of women, and he didn't care what he had. Tsubaki, I can't believe what my former mistress has become. Seraphal, you don't even need to say it. Disappointed. Wow, so they celebrate. They heard this and looked in horror and fear at Rise of Him and an army of demons. And Kyoto. Everyone, because we are not surprised that they appear and are still alive. Sigh. Kenichi, seriously, that old lesbian never gets tired, but for some reason something will happen. A little serious and restless. In Lilith. Naruto, how are you still alive if supposed to? Rise of Him, did you really think I'd be there and die? What an idiot. Especially, do you think you defeated me? I don't believe it. Blondes. Zenobia, shut up. He will be the one who will defeat you again. Naruto. Harem, yes. Valley sighs, let's finish this. I have to be with Lavinia because of her pregnancy. Biko, and I have a date. And they all rush to fight along with each retinue. And Kyoto. Kunu, how much do you bet that when Vala tires out Rise of Him, Naruto attacks him like a coward to defeat him? Akino, why bet on something that would be obvious? Everyone nods. Kenichi. Kaneko sees it. What's going on, senpai? Kenichi, for some reason I'm worried about what will happen. Seriously. All. Issei, no, but I think you're right, Kenichi. Something bad will happen, and I don't think it will happen to Rise of Him. In Lilith. The battle continued, but they saw that Naruto was trying to get close to Rise of Him, but he continued fighting even though he received the support of his fans. But Valley approached to be face to face with Rise of Him. Rise of Him, while you know I miss your rival, it's a shame they changed it with the fact that he let the dragon free. Valley, shut up, and many people don't see him as the Dragon Emperor but as a good comrade. Rise of Him, and they prove it because of that blonde, pointing at Naruto who was doing almost nothing. But now let's start with this. It didn't end as they heard something approaching and saw that some robots had arrived out of nowhere. But unlike the previous chapter, they had two eyes. Everyone, hey, everyone stopped. And Kyoto. All, hey, Asia, those are robots. Curious. Rias, but those robots look somewhat advanced. Akino, are they from the brigade? Kaneko, I don't think so since they lack technology, and they are not Azazel's either since they exploit him. Issei, they wouldn't be Ajuka's either since he hasn't managed to create robots yet. Kenichi. Asia, do you think this is what you had a feeling, Kenichi-san? Kenichi, yes, probable. Ari, it can't be, look what those robots are doing. Everyone sees that when a demon destroys one, they see that for some reason metallic parts come out and begin to attack their own, and some are affected, even the evil dragons, and destroy everything. Issei, did those robots possess like a virus? Kenichi, it seems so, and there's something else. In Lilith. Sir Shay, TCH, this is bad. Azazel, I don't know what's going on and where those robots came from. Michi, and I don't think they are from the brigade, so that some of their soldiers are attacking us now. Odin, hey. Ross, defends, and look what they do. He points out how Naruto and his partners tried to fight, but they seemed more difficult, and the soldiers were faster. Everyone, they don't really train. Rise of Him, what the hell is going on here? What is this? Euclid, I don't know, my lord, I don't know where they came from. Well, time to introduce myself. They heard that to see that a kind of well-dressed demon came out of the sky, with two wings on his waist and very pale skin. Greetings, factions of the world and those watching the broadcasts. I am Jada, the Messiah of the Dark Dimension. Bows. Sir Shay, guys, feel it. Everyone nods. Gabriel sees Jada's heart to freeze and then almost faint. Penemu, Gabriel, what's wrong with you? Worried. Gabriel, his heart is very dark. Jada, you are right, Seraphim. Gabriel, my heart is pure evil. Smiles. Rise of Him, I don't know who you think you are, but you're ruining my moment of war. Chrome Quatch. The evil dragon listens and launches himself at Jada to attack him. Pause. June Patetico. They saw that in one of its wings it spun like a saw and threw something at the dragon to see in horror how it was split in two. All astonished. Kyoto. All same. Rias, that guy killed one of the evil dragons. Stupefied. Akino. Era. Kenichi, that dream is stronger than all the demons. Issei, nervous. In Lilith. All. Odin for Valhalla. Astonished. Ross, He finished it in an instant, without believing it. Naruto's harem, stunned, together, at Anito's. Jada, what a disappointment, but anyway, looks at everyone. This city and world will be under our control, but knowing them they will surrender to us, smiles. Naruto, haha, you and what army? Snorting with arrogance. But you see the robots and the possessed land with Jada. Meaning it's the army. Leaders, I had to say it, tired. Jada, this is my army and they don't have the energy to fight because they are exhausted against my soldiers and the possessed, he said mockingly. Naruto, TCH is right, and for some reason Kurama doesn't respond to me and the chakra doesn't work. I'll use that so I can become the hero, he said to take out a paper. Jean, Naruto-kun, what is that? Naruto, I've had it since I arrived. He said that I would use it in an emergency since it is a powerful summon for me. Smiles and cheers up his fans. Jada smiles at that. Zenobia, then do it, Naruto. Naruto, puts the paper on the floor and makes hand signs. Ajuka looks at the paper. Seraphal, I don't know about you, but I have a bad feeling. Cuba, they are equal. Gasper, do you think that? Ajuka, don't let me do it. Everyone, they see it. Odin, what's up? Ajuka, that seal is a forbidden seal actually, and if it does. Naruto, summon Jutsu, puts his hands on the seal. The seal shines. Everyone expected a powerful creature, but what was gained a red crack in the sky. All, hey. Jada, rise of him. Hey blonde, what is that? Naruto, it's supposed to be a summoning Jutsu. Ajuka, it is not. It is a seal of reality. Faction Z and Kyoto. Ari, like one for real, astonished. Asia, what is that? Curious. Kanu, I heard and studied that those seals are capable of breaking realities like dimensional cracks, but those seals are forbidden and dangerous since they can destroy all reality of the worlds, and they are forbidden. Koenko, and that idiot has had it since he arrived. I really don't know why many prefer him if he hasn't done anything when he arrived. Seriously and annoyed. Kenichi _ I would like to go to that land where my clan is and somehow bring them back and beat up those villages and expel that blonde. But they see the crack open and from it come out something like red and purple flames, even flying creatures that terrify them. Asia, what is that? Akino, hey, those are planets, pointing out that the crack showed planets. Rias, so is that an unknown dimension or is it the same universe? Kanu, perhaps it is. In Lilith, everyone watched in shock and disbelief that in that dimension you can see planets and floating rocks. Seraphal, perhaps the food they gave us was bad and I'm going crazy seeing the planets. Penemu, maybe the liquor was bad and I'm seeing the same thing. Tsubaki, no, it's not that actually, they're planets. Saji, what the hell? Momo, hey, something is coming out. And they see a fiery comet coming out of that crack until they see a fire-headed being wearing armor that makes him look like an emperor. LOL, I'm free. Everyone, astonished and scared. Gabriel, looked like he couldn't breathe and was having a heart attack. Irina, Gabriel, what's wrong? Gabriel, her heart is very evil, swearing. Naruto, felt true terror. Jada, ha, good to see Dormammu, god of the dark dimension. Dormammu, ha, I see your plan worked, Jada, in bringing that idiot here. All, hey. Naruto, hi that. Jada, ha, incredible that you never suspected why you are here. Simple, I brought you here, Naruto Uzumaki. What's more, you are part of my plan in this universe. Shay, his plan. Jada, well, the truth is that a pathetic god had planned to bring that blonde here and do something in his favor. But I ended it and started with a better plan. Dormammu, when they brought him I was in charge of making those voices that said to do that so that everyone believes he is a hero, he like all the universes of that, but I see that many did not agree. Seeing those who did not leave Issei and Kyoto. Rias _ I mean those two brought that idiot without suspecting and he was also a servant of that. Kaneko, yeah, the scammer got scammed, she said mockingly. In Lilith. Jada, but the good thing the arrival of the brigade came as planned and that blonde activated that reality seal that opens the dark dimension and I almost forgot the deal is over. Snaps his fingers. Out of nowhere a red aura comes out. Naruto, and they see Kurama manifest. Naruto, Kurama, sees the two. Thank you, my lords bows. All, hey. Naruto, Kurama, what does that mean? You betrayed me. Kurama, haha, the donkey talking about is, well, you betrayed your ideals. When we got here you forgot what you've done in our world and your goal. I see that I was wrong. You're like all the Uzumaki, a damn traitor. At least that Kenichi Uzumaki is better than you and would possibly become Kage of Yuzu. Naruto, Adinito, Jida, Very well, Kurama, as part of the deal I'll give you something better. He extended his hand so that blood covered the fox completely to see that it now looked more human, but still retained its fox features. All astonished, Kurama looks at his hands. I feel powerful, thank you, Lord Jada. Jada, well, Dormammu, what do you think if we take this city as a prize? Dormammu, you're right. Go to everyone. Very well, factions, you will be the platter of my servants, and are welcome to the dark dimension. At that, the creatures along with the army began to attack the city and its inhabitants. The brigade wanted to escape, but it was too late. Only Rizavim and Lucify managed to escape, while everyone tried to flee, and the blonde did not want to die along with his dogs. Sir Shay. Curse, seize everyone. Everyone form magic circles to get out of here and soon. All Hai. Azazel. Already hear the master do it too. The soldiers of each faction complied and began to evacuate. Pause. Jajajajajajajajaja is beautiful. Emotional response. Dormammu, ha 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 ha. Seeing chaos and fear satisfies me. Kurama, I hadn't felt that way, but that makes me smile. Smiles evilly. Jada. After that, sees exactly the Kyoto boys who surprises them all. We hope if you are here, impressive Issei Hayabu. Smiles and destroys the circle. All. Kanu, mother, worried. Ari. Looks at the time. Well, it would be better to open now, maybe that will lighten the atmosphere we left here. Rias. Good idea. Let's get everything ready. They all stated to start working, but the kids were completely silent. Issei. I mean, it was all a plan of an unknown enemy. Kensei. And that guy is more powerful than dragons and maybe gods. Issei. Sees Kenichi after this. Kenichi. Yes, we'll have to train hard. Issei. Yes, conscious. I don't know what's happening, but I feel it's going to be chaos now. They went to help the girls in the establishment, believing that same day another moment of chaos, and there are two more but in different lands, and that is half of the true plan of those enemies. Clash 2, Prologue 3, a Chaos Dungeon Drop, Tiara Damichi. In a larger land or city where many adventurers and other beings exist, but we focus on a white-haired man with red eyes who pretends to be a human rabbit. Sighs another day. What's up, Belle? Belle. He sees that a black-haired man with green hair has arrived. Ashen. I see that you also went to the dungeon. Ashen. Well, in your case it seems that you were not punished again. Belle. Hi, it seems I've been trying too hard to get stronger since. Ashen. Of the time, no. Belle. Hi, I can't believe it's been almost a year since that day. Ashen. Well, I already had suspicions that Loki and Freya would act like that. But look on the bright side. Aes, the Amazons, and Lafia joined you and Hestia. Belle, although not everything went well, especially that Aes ended his relationship with Riveria, depressed. Ashen, calm down, I know it's not easy, but he has you and that's what matters. Belle, if you're right, even my friends are with me, although Welf surprises me by having another love, Ashen, yes, well, let's go to the lady, don't you think? Belle, hey, and also, we'll all go there, so, let's go. Also, your partners are waiting for you. Ashen, yes. Both of them got up, although of course they received greetings from the inhabitants of the city until they arrived at the restaurant that was the Lady of Abundance, that was bigger than it looked, almost like a mansion or a guild. Belle, it's good to see the place is here. Ashen, you're their star client for a reason. Belle, yes, and Chistacito. Ashen-san, Belle-san, both. Ria-san, come to the elf. Ria, Belle, you didn't go to the dungeon, right? Belle, I am not only nervous. Ashen, then you discipline your rabbit, but the others have already arrived. Ria, well, almost. When they entered they were greeted by the customers, the waitresses, but a special one for Ashen, and with them their partners. Belle, Hestia, Ryu, behind, Leviticus, Haraheim, Lily, Mikoto, Ashen, the only one. We will see. Let's see. Chloe, Tsubaki, Hestia, Belquin. Belle, I'm here, sits down. Where's Welf? Aes, he said that today he took his girlfriend on a date. Ashen, and we didn't miss anything. Mia, well, what are these? She uses a rock to project a crystal onto which an image is projected. I mean crystals that project like magic televisions. And there you see Oreo rather in the arena of Ganesha. Lafia, well, let's see what he brings us. Tioni, Loki and Freya are sure to fight again. Tiona, yes, that's customary, Tsubaki, nods in agreement. On time. The adventurers and gods were excited, but on a throne was a certain pedophile goddess, and the Aphrodite version of that world, or rather considered worse than Aphrodite, that was Freya, and at her side Loki the flat goddess, making both feel some pangs. And with them the most careless god who steals their monsters, who is posing ridiculous, which is Ganesha, the mentioned one falls on him an anvil. Anyway, everyone saw that all the children of both were fighting against the monsters, or rather only those who were the strongest were there, and Freya's was Otter along with some extra adventurers. Freya, Jum, it seems your children are trying to be strong. Loki, ha ha ha, yes they are the best. Freya, only you don't have A's, smiles mockingly. Loki, tch damn rabbit, put my rebellious A's-chan together with one of my girls, annoyed. Freya, damn Loki, because of you my bunny went far away and I hate you like I did to Ishtar. Ganesha, it seems they are almost finished, seeing that they almost killed all the monsters. Everyone wanted to see how they would finish them off, or so you'd think. Out of nowhere some purple rays finished off the monsters. In the city that I think I'll call Akatsuki, invented name, where Belle and the others are. All, hey, Lily, hey, what was that? Hestia, maybe that idiot Ares again, or Apollo. Ina, hey, what is that? They see that the droids that attacked the other Earths have arrived. Lafia, hey, what are those things? Tiona, could they be new dungeon monsters? A's, but with armor. Tsubaki, although I'm terrified by those smiles on their faces, nervous to see the robot's smiles. Nobody understood, but a nostrum attacked a robot. Many believe they were weak, if not for the fact that when they destroyed it, it released purple smoke. As a result, the monster had metallic plates and purple lines to kill the other monsters, some of whom were also being infected. Ashen by the gods. Haruheim, are the monsters attacking each other? Mikoto, not just monsters, adventurers too, noting that some adventurers also became infected and started attacking too. At the Tower of Babel, the whole place was empty, or most of it, since there were few people, although luckily Hephaestus wasn't there, but I couldn't call it that when there were also robots. But they placed some bombs on the walls, but they were watched by a figure. Very well, they already placed the other bombs, sees a droid. Droid aware. This seems splendid to me, or don't you believe it, said another figure. Yes, while he entertains them, and well, it's time to go. And 2. Not yet, you know I want to put explosives where this tower starts. Because it's just the entrance to that dungeon. I understand, well, go ahead. 2. I knew you'd like it. Smiles to disappear in a purple flash. Ha ha ha, this will be interesting. Above all that I will be here the god that this earth deserves, or rather that they join them. In the sand, all the adventurers, some were able to evacuate the civilians, but most fled while some protected their gods. Loki, what the hell is going on? Do you have one of those Ganeshas? Sees the annoyed god. Ganesha, I've never seen anything like that. Hephaestus arrives while evacuating. Apparently they have a kind of virus that makes them control them, pointing to the infected. At this rate their children will not last. Freya, don't worry, my otter can win. Loki, you're talking about this one, pointing to the big guy with wounds, and he looked tired. Freya, and yours, pointing to Loki's too. Hephaestus hey, this is not the time for. I don't finish as many of the stands are greeted by fireballs. Gagarg. They heard that to see a red gargoyle, yellow eyes, and on the wrists and ankles it looked like it had shackles. And Akatsuki. Lily, what is that? Hestia, a gargoyle. Lily, I know that, but I meant where did it come from? Mikoto. I don't think it came out of Ganesha's sand. Tsubaki. They think he got out of the dungeon. Belle. I don't think so, we've faced gargoyles before, but this doesn't look like what they're like. Ashen. Besides them being skinny, this one looks fit, pointing to the gargoyle's body. Tioni, yes, you're right. Lafia, and apparently she's smarter. Look, they watched as the gargoyle, besides throwing fireballs from its mouth, watched as it fought hand to hand, even evaded the adventurers' attacks. Belle, serious and twitching. Ashen, you feel it too. Belle, hi, I feel that this is not good. Ashen, believe me, I feel like this is the start of something serious. Tioni, what? Ashen-kun. Ashen, of the unexpected. On time. Gargarg, he said, throwing Welf, who was very hurt. Welf, damn, he's harsh. Riveria tch. Otter, I have never faced anything like this. Gargarg, dancing, but they were jumps. Loki, and ch. I think that's enough, Firebrand. We're done now. They heard that and were amazed because there were 2 figures floating. All, hey. One was a man of 40, dressed in red, almost military clothes, a cape. He had a cap but a logo of a skull with wings, and the curious thing was that he had white eyes. And the other was a gray being but with a very futuristic blue and black armor combined with antiquity, or Egyptian. Everyone nervous, and Akatsuki, Hestia, gets excited and falls to the ground. Belle, Hestia worried. Lily, whatever. Hestia, the of the armor is Rio 1 god grounded. Lafia, and not at all friendly. Her power is monstrous, terrified, all impacted, while in Oreo, the gods and elves present were equal to the presence of the other being who was a god. Firebrand. Gra Grog. It seems you already scared everyone just by being present. Apocalypse. Apocalypse? Of course Bison, because I am a god who is above all these insignificant gods. Bison, that's true. Loki. Hey, what does this mean? Bison, this skinny one, pulls out a switch, I would say down, presses it. Narrate. They did not understand what was happening or what happened, but explosions sounded to see what it was. The Tower of Babel that they saw with horror. That more explosions came out, and as a result it began to fall completely, generating more destruction. All Adabitos, and Akatsuki, Hestia. I can't believe it. Aina. I knocked down the Tower of Babel. Tiona. The worst. How many died inside and outside? Tioni. Don't they have a heart? Harem. Starting to pray. On time. Freya. TCH, damn it, do they know when I work to be there, damn it. Apocalypse. Silence whore. When Freya spoke, she did something that no one believed. She knelt before it. Apocalypse, listen to me. If you want to live, be my subjects, and serve me as your god. Wealth. Hey you, haha, good joke you, and what did you do? Narrated by. It didn't end because the infected joined them. Bison. But if you say that again, lifts the switch, I start to run, think or pray, presses it again. And another explosion sounded, and it was the base of the Tior that exploded and left a hole. Riveria, oh no, terrified. Loki. And what good will that do? Firebrand, Guard Grog. Bison. Yeah, you better run. They didn't understand, but screams, tearing, and roars could be heard, so that the spectators could see that the dungeon monsters began to emerge from the hole. Apocalypse. Well, we'll be back, so see you. Narrated. The three flew away and left everyone behind, while many fled or were massacred by the monsters of the destroyed Tower of Babel, and who knows what awaits them. And Akatsuki, all. Hestia, this is Harem, a massacre. Aina. Not only did the tower fall but also. Tsubaki. The Karabozo is open to all monsters, turning it into a carnage, or now a world for them. Bell/Ashen. No one spoke to those who were watching what was happening in Oreo, each being human. Demi-humans. Elves. Amazons, gods. Everyone saw how some three unknown beings threw down the Tower of Babel, releasing the monsters and generating chaos in Oreo, and there is only one place left for the master plan that is carrying this out to be completed, and there is only one more Earth left to do it. Clash 3, Prologue 4, Conquest of the Hunter's Most Advanced City. Tierra RWBY. In the city of Vale you can see a blonde man with loose hair, because the long-faced John. John, Indra, nothing, just thoughtful. Indra, and what is it about? John. Well, we've already been through everything, including the Beacon Festival attack, especially Cinders. At least we stopped that grim dragon. Indra, speak for yourself. You also saved Fira, although of course you accepted her as your partner after so many rejections from Weiss. John, speak for yourself that you're dating her. I'm surprised that she confessed to you after saving her, and you rejected her more than once, but in the end you accepted her. Smiles amused. Indra, Jum as C. Dear. The black-haired man with blue locks is hugged by a white-haired woman, but is accompanied by the rest of his team as well as John's team. Indra, that again, Weiss. It's annoying that you take me by surprise. Weiss. But I don't see you complaining. Besides, you like that I'm happy. Smiles. Indra, Sate is true, chibi face. John, well, let's go to a cafeteria. Fira, yellow claro. They were walking, but they see the stores that are still under repair. Yang. Incredible that they are still under repair after that day. Rin. And who doesn't? What was supposed to be the festival ended as an attack by Cinder, which left Indra and Ruby with scars. Nora, I would have liked to leave him a scar, cheerfully. Indra, next time, Chibi taking drops from everyone. Then they arrived at a cafe where many were welcomed by the customers to sit down. But they saw something on TV that was the news in Atlas. Yang, now that I think about it, Weiss, your father won't present something today with Ironwood. Weiss, unfortunately, something to raise the company. Annoyed. Indra, I don't like that old man at all. Nora, obviously you hit him with a burning blow and burned his mustache when he insulted your family, especially your mother. Yang, you should have saved me some. Ruby elbows him. A beacon. In the headmaster's office were the same. Glinda, Crow, and the surprising Winter. Crow, will it be another publication for your company, or am I wrong? Ice Queen, go to Winter. Winter, Jum is just a military advertisement. Seriously. Glinda, it must be because of the festival attack. Ajpin, Surely, but it would be a pity. Winter, what do you mean? Crow, White Fang might attack them. Winter, it's impossible. It's impossible for that to happen. The three, they look at her with faces like. Seriously, they left the general speechless. In Atlas, there you can see Ironwoods and the Patriarch, grumpy old man, of the Schnee with many reporters. Reporter, tell us, is it true that you have new inventions or defense devices for the security of Atlas? Ironwood, that's right. Because of the attack on Vale and Beacon, we're panicking that White Fang or Cinder will. Jocks, that's right. And with Dust's support we will give them more power to provide better power and finish off once and for all those wild fawns that disturb our peace, and in the name of the Schnee family, and if possible go to the place of origin of the fawns. In Vale, many of the inhabitants were happy or agreed with him, but in the cafeteria a white-haired woman slammed her face against the table. Which, F amiga, Nora, and she's not the only one, pointing at Blake who seemed to be scratching the table. Indra, and if Weiss kills him, Weiss, Aun and Indraquin. Blake, that old man, he's also thinking of doing something to my home. Annoyed. Ruby, this is horrible what they plan to do to your home. Rin, this will cause a war against the fawns. Nora, I can break his legs. A Beacon. Crow, okay, now that guy is crazy and Ironwood supports him. Winter, what you say is a noble cause. Crow, so kill or attack innocent faunas who have nothing to do with White Fang. Winter, but, Glinda, no matter how much it hurts to say I'm with Crow, they're going to start a war against them. Ajban sighs, I didn't think it would have to come to that serious, and you James, who collaborated with this, disappointed equals. Glinda, James, what have you become? Hurt and heartbroken. In Atlas again. Jacquis, but we are also developing tomorrow's new invention of machines, the ultimate weapon in case we can't continue and with the power of dust. Reporter, wow. That sounds interesting to hear, maybe that way we can. I can't stop listening to the screams to see Grims and Fawns of White Fang. Ironwoods, TCH Attaquin, and so the soldiers began to fight against the Grims and the Fawns. In Vale, Farah, apparently they are attacked by Cinder's group. Nora, and look who comes out, pointing to two human figures and a masked man. Blake. Adam Wood, John, I don't like this at all. Serious. Indra _ looking at everything with great seriousness. A Beacon. Winter at Onita. Crow, I knew this would happen, while drinking his cantiplore. Glinda, apparently they already knew what they were going to do to make them attack. Ajban, well, let's see what they'll do to them, while drinking his coffee. Back to Atlas. The soldiers were reduced due to the attacks of Cinder's soldiers and Adam had the advantage. Adam. Jum sees the two. Shocks, scared. He stands behind Ironwood. Ironwood Serios. Adam. Wow, you guys have a lot of courage to attack the homes of faunas who have nothing to do with us. That shows that you have no heart. Especially you Jakshni. Serious. Ironwoods, just to prevent further attacks and shocks. I just wanted to get rid of your aberrations. The many fawns were shouting angrily at him and wanted to kill him. Elsewhere in Atlas, a white-haired woman can be seen watching on TV with great disappointment. I really don't recognize you anymore, he said, looking out of the corner of his eye at boxes and suitcases. In Vale, Yang, calm down Blake, holding Blake who was eager to destroy the TV. Weiss _ sighs, I can't believe it. Indra, fire comes out of his fist in annoyance. John sighs, a Beacon. All. Crow, something to say. Winter. Winter, no, I don't have anything to say, resigned and lowering her head. In Atlas, Mercury. Hee. It seems he thinks he's the man if he thinks he'll scare you. Emerald, what if we kill him so no one will miss him? Jock, Thea shocked. Adam, very well, raises his sword by the order of the. It didn't end because some lasers attacked the Grims and the Fawns, which caught the attention of the viewers to see that they were the robots from the previous chapters. All in Vale. Nora, is it just me or those robots came out of nowhere? Confused. Yang, apparently they are the robots they developed. Weiss, no son. Everyone, they see her. John, God, look at that, pointing out how the robots were killing the Grims and maybe the Fawns, and to terror also the Atlas soldiers. Blake, astonished at what he saw. Yang, sees that a Grim and a Fawn destroyed one. Hey, you're lucky those robots aren't tough. Frira, but what is that purple smoke? Pointing at the smoke. Weiss, I don't remember that kind of thing. But they see that the Fawn and the Grim seem to suffer an attack to see that metallic plates and purple veins appeared on them, and as a result they began to attack everyone. A Beacon. Everyone surprised. Winter, what kind of dust is that? Not believing what was happening. Crow, what robots those are. Glinda, could it be a new mind control powder? Ajban, in my entire career I have never seen anything like this, and apparently they are inside the robots. Seeing that each one destroyed a robot and many were infected and attacked each other, what could this be? At the Atlas factory, a figure can be seen leaving dead scientists to reach a door. Now I see why you asked me for this, sir. Takes out a disc. If you want to see humanity's best weapon, you'll see what it can do. Back to battle. Shocks. What is this? Watching the battle with fear. Ironwoods, is it your work? Mercury, the truth is no. Emerald, what is this? Adam, how? Grargh. Aizawa. They heard those screams to see that many soldiers of Atlas or White Fang were sent flying, but with wounds to see with horror and more for the Shni, a kind of fawn that was much like a man but with a kind of animal skin suit with sharp claws and sharp teeth. Everyone scared. In Vale. Young. Blake, have you ever seen a fawn like that? Blake, none that I know of. Rin. And it seems that he is a savage literally, seeing how he massacred the soldiers with his claws and teeth. Ruby, about to vomit. They see that the soldiers pointed their weapons, but out of nowhere they are taken to a part, and some who could disband, but out of nowhere they stopped and returned, hitting the soldiers. Weiss, what was that? John, maybe if you asked the man in the red suit floating. They heard that to see that it was true. There was a man in a red suit and a striking helmet who was floating, while around him were the soldiers' weapons. Everyone surprised. In Atlas, the soldiers or everyone did not know who the floating person was, but the Atlas robots launched themselves against that guy, but the man raised his hand that stopped the robots, and closed a fist so that all the robots were crushed until they exploded. Everyone surprised and scared. Fawn, he always with a dramatic entrance. Magneto smiles. Magneto, and you like to provoke fear in your victims. Sabretooth, what can I say? Smiles. Ironwoods, who are you? Magneto, I am Magneto, leader of the Brotherhood of Mutants. That is my comrade, and I are mutates. We are like you fawns. That caught the attention of the fawns present and those watching. Magneto, we mutants are like you, rejected. You see us as threats. I don't even know if you do it, but you do experiments on us to create biological or mechanical weapons to hunt us down. Everyone was surprised to hear what Magneto said, but a certain Shni had a twisted idea. Magneto, but I, Magneto, leader of the Mutant Brotherhood, asked you or offer you the faunest fight with us for freedom, and also that those rejected or threatened fight for their right to live. Many were left speechless by that speech Magneto made. In Vale, Blake, attentive and about to get up. Young, oh no you won't, returns him to his seat. Blake, sorry, it was a reflex, embarrassed. Ruby, that man said an incredible speech. Pyrrha, but it kind of makes me nervous about what might happen. Nervous. Indra, serious. And Atlas. Adam, I don't know who you think you are, but I, Adam Taurus, will be the one to lead the FAU. He fell silent when he saw that many Faunus who were with him were heading towards Magneto. Adam, hey, what are you doing? Faun 1, we decided to follow what wave came to us again. Faun 2, we will no longer be converting ourselves like those humans and more so aligning ourselves with some. Faun 3, now you will be alone, Taurus. Now Adam is alone without the White Fang, or perhaps most or all of the members decide to leave him to join Magneto. A beacon. Crow, wow, now they left the crying baby alone, how ironic. Winter, but I don't know if I should trust that guy, especially since he's accompanied by those robots. Seriously. Glinda, same as Winter. Ajban, seriously, while drinking his coffee. In Atlas. Jocks, wow. Interesting, but that doesn't take away the fact that they are threats. Ironwoods, activate the weapon. Ironwoods _ but it hasn't been tested yet. I don't finish because the factory exploded, alerting everyone. But you see that it came out like a golden capsule. But you recognize it. Shocks, wait, that's not it. Ironwoods, how was it activated? It was me, gentlemen. They heard that to see that a man with blonde hair, dark leather clothes and dark glasses came out of the fire. Ironwoods, despairing. The soldiers started shooting at him, but the guy was moving from side to side as if he were speeding. Mercury, he's faster than me. Maybe he has artificial legs too. Perspective. Everyone, scared and very upset. Magneto, always making everyone fear Weskier, Jum, that's my job. Eric. Sabretooth, you could save me some if you wanted. Jocks, who dare you do that? Weskier, well, I was just waking up my comrade, right? Modoc. When he said that, the capsule descends where they are so that arms and legs came out, although small and horrifying for some, showing that he had an enormous H. Modoc, that's Albert, sorry. Beacon. Crow, spits out his liquor just like Ajban spat out his coffee. Winter, Oh my god, how horrible, horrified, Glinda. Stoic look, I'll have nightmares. In Vale, Yanga. I'm blind to see something so horrible. This is much worse than when I saw Professor Port naked in the men's showers, perturbed to remember that. Nora, wow, I've seen worse things, but this is the ugliest. Rin. But he's a man in armor or a strange machine. John, wait, he said, comrade. Indra. So that was it, seriously. Weiss. What would Indrakun do? Indra, look. In Atlas. Magneto. I see, that was the plan. Weskier. What better way to do the same thing Doom did in another universe, and send the plans for Modoc's creation? Ironwood's plans wait. Modoc. That's right, beings of inferior intelligence sent me the plans for Modoc so that I would create myself and also so that Weskier would implant my memory to return as before. Jocks. I mean all this time. Modoc. That's right, and also this. On the part of his forehead it shines and they see that Atlas robots fly to attack Altus. Modoc. All of Atlas's technology is mine and will be my new factory and laboratory. Nothing can against Modoc now. People began to flee from the robot attacks and Jocks fled with Ironwoods as well as Mercury, Emerald and Atom while the villains and fawns saw the destruction so that the signal would fall. A beacon. Winter, my home, my family. Crow approaches her. Better I'll take you for a drink if. Winter, please Crow, being carried by Crow. Glinda. Yeah, Ashpin, there will be much work to do. In Vale, everyone, in shock. Weiss gets up and leaves the cafe. Ruby, Weiss. Indra, I'll go for her. Goes to follow her. Pyrrha, oh god, this is terrible. John looks seriously at what happened with Indra. He chased Weiss until he managed to stop her. Indra, Weiss, I know what you're going through, but, Weiss. They attacked Atlas, many people, my home, my brother and my mother, she said with tears in her eyes. They are attacking them. Indra hugs her while comforting her. Weiss, what will I do if they are? Indra, they'll be fine, I assure you, or else there'll be a massacre for making her cry. Grimly, Remnant went through something worse than Vale and Beacon's attack by Cinder. Now they're going through it now with the fall of Atlas, but it doesn't end there. Unknown location. There was a figure sitting on a throne seeing through orbs different scenarios, one where the Sentinels attacked the hero academies, where Dormammu enslaved some territories of the underworld. The monsters of Oreo were free and doing a lot of destruction, and now the attack and fall of Atlas by Modoc. Wow, they're doing it to recognize us, but the time will come, my lord. What's happening? Unknown. The explorers found similar energies that are connected to the 4 universes that also attack their Earths. I believe they are the energies of the gems. Excellent call, everyone, it's time. Unknown, I mean. That's right, it's time for them to get to know me and see a new world of me, know us as their god, he said while 2 lights came out that seemed to be eyes but also other eyes on the chest. Clash 4. Final Prologue. Identity and Dimensional Collision. Many will wonder how bad the 4 Earths were that were attacked by the drones and villains. Well, now comes what they expected. MHA Land. After the fall of the UA by the Sentinels who created the UA, those robots began to attack other cities and hunt every being with quirks, and other countries saw those robots attacking those people and annihilating every hero and villain, where little by little people lost faith or saw with hatred the heroes of Japan and the UA by creating those robots that were sent by a villain, that even the Coma of heroes are falling by a thread to an irony. Those who are now despised are those who have powers are discriminated against by the Quirkless, since only Sentinels hunt them and do not want them to destroy or kill their families. And few academies that were not destroyed help or make shelters for civilians. DXD Earth. After what happened in the city, Lilith was taken by the Dark Dimension, and now ruled by Dormammu and with Jada. Many demonic territories are slowly taken by Dormammu, and the demons who inhabited them become slaves. Many would think that Naruto would take advantage of everyone to praise him, but it was negative, since everyone now calls him insults and throws garbage at him for being responsible for their lives being ruined, and their partners wanted to attack them, but the leaders who were not in favor of them banished them from the underworld and also from the Council of Elders, although they were found dead by an attack by Jada when trying to escape, and there are rumors that bases of the Chaos Brigade were attacked by the drones and Jada, and who knows what they do with the survivors. Tiara Damichi. The news that the city of Oreo fell and also the Tower of Babel with the labyrinth open. Many monsters destroyed almost all of Oreo as well as other cities, where many adventurers died, even families leaving them without children and resources. The Freya and Loki family now had nothing else to fight, and will try to close the dungeon, but Freya is upset since according to her those guys took everything she built as well as Loki, since now he will not be able to drink, but of course they could not do anything since many people see them as weak for allowing that, like Ganesha, who is a terrible god in this, and many kingdoms decided to be alert and send adventurers to hunt monsters that approach them, but something else they say that now the being called Apocalypse created his own family or kingdom, and they are lethal. Tiara Renment. After the fall of Atlas, many things have happened. For example, many members of Adam renounced the White Fang and joined the Brotherhood, as well as some Faunus who are discriminated against and generating chaos for racists. On the good side, many people managed to escape from Atlas and survived, to the relief of John and Weiss, the blonde, because his older sister and her family, wife and son, managed to get out. And for the white-haired girl, her brother, Butler, her Alfredi, and her mother also managed to get out, although a surprise that would leave Jaquius. And speaking of the King of Rome, nobody knows what happened to him after that, but many say that he was captured by the now scientific and biological organization AI Umbrella. Those lands suffered casualties from those sudden attacks, but this was just the beginning of what will happen now. Earth MHA 4 weeks later. Eren can be seen looking out a window at all the refugees who came from other cities. Eren, what's up, Ajo-kun? Eren sees a brown-haired girl his age. Asuna, what's going on? Asuna, I thought you'd be at Inko-san's cafeteria with the others. Eren, I can't stop watching and thinking about that attack in Mutsufatsu. Asuna, same here. That villain revealed that he sent those plans that will build those robots that kill supers alone. Eren, hey, it seems there's something fishy going on, especially since the Sentinels stopped attacking, and there hasn't been any activity these days. Asuna, how we better think about what we will do since nobody knows if the government will do anything. Eren, hey Asuna, you know I'd like a coffee with milk and a sweet bread with kajada. Asuna, and I was thinking of giving you my famous sandwich that you like. Eren, done. They both leave, although the brown-haired girl hugs the black-haired man's arm. DXD Earth. In Kyoto, Kenichi sat looking at the city while holding Kaneko on his lap. Kaneko, the underworld is in chaos now. Kenichi, hey, and because of that so-called Uzumaki who dirty my last name, annoyed. Kaneko sees that to put her head on Kenichi's chest, prrrr, starting to purr. At that action, I calmed him down and began to stroke his head. You're not the only one who's tense about that, my friend. Kenichi, what are you saying, Issei? Issei, Saoirse told me and Rias that now it is chaos and many are demanding the head of Naruto and his followers for taking their homes. Kaneko, but now it's mockery to know that he was a pawn in a plan of those two. Issei, hi, well, let's go to the restaurant. It seems the clientele is doing well because of this. Kenichi, okay, maybe they'll pay us, but they leave, but the Nikomata climbs up to Kenichi's shoulders to enjoy the ride. Tiara Damichi. Aina can be seen looking at the documents with concern. Aina, for Orion. Ashen arrives. I know this got out of control. Aina, hey, the monsters keep coming out. It's possible that the most dangerous ones will come out, or worse. Ashen, the one-eyed dragon. Aina, hi, we don't know if there are more families available. Ash, I'm with you, you know better. Let's go to the Lady of Plenty. It would do you good to calm down. Aina, you're right. And they left so she could calm down. Tiara Renment. On one of the benches was Indra and on his lap was Weiss, but lying down. Indra, Weiss, you're still like this because of Atlas, right? Weiss, how could I not be? My father, no, Jaquius always stained the family name by marrying my mother. The problems, the displeasure, the criticism, everything, and now he took away the homes of many, and by creating a phenomenon that a subject who is more feared than Taurus gave them to build it. And now the laboratories of Atlas and the family are now AI Umbrella. Indra, I know, but don't worry. Now you have your mother and Klein, of course, and your brother. Weiss, hi, you know how to let off some steam. I'm a little hungry. Let's go to the cafeteria with the others. Indra, okay. They march towards the cafeteria, but without knowing that in each land it is the beginning of what will change everything. Unknown location. You can see the figure sitting on his throne to see Bison, Jada, Doom, and Weskier. Well, they already found signatures of the four. Weskier, hey, we found them, and they're ready. Bison, it's time. Doom, everyone will know who their gods will be. Doom, correction, we will be their god. Jada, that's right, my lord, you will be his god. Now the focus is on the cafes of the four lands where the protagonists, and their companions are eating comfortably until the TVs, crystals, or any device turns on to reveal a dark room where a person was sitting on a throne. Greetings, inhabitants of each earth, it is time for us to introduce ourselves. Tofos, with hesitation. A remnant. Yang-hei, I don't know if he's crazy, but he said no trosos instead of one. Coco, although they didn't notice that the voice sounded like cybernetic and two voices in it. Weiss, I kind of have a bad feeling, seriously. And she wasn't the only one, since the other lands that were watching were the same. Surely you have doubts about who we are. I'll just say we are responsible for sending my creations. He said so that the droids would appear, surprising everyone. In DXD, Issei, are those perhaps? Rias, the robots that attacked the capital Lilith. Kenichi, Sirius, and Danmachi. Bell, are those steel dolls yours? Lily, but why did he do it, and why did they attack Oreo? Ashen, Sirius, a remnant. Nora _ they are the infector robots. Rin, seriously, that name Nora, with a drop. Yang, I'm with her, or you forget how they infected the Grims and the Fawns. Rin, good point. Indra, Sirius, I don't know. Ochako, they are the robots from days ago. Izuku, he built them. Aaron, I have a feeling it's going to be something more. Asuna, you think? Aaron, look, now that everything is clear, it's time to introduce ourselves, he said, lighting up some purple eyes and some blue eyes on his chest. A remnant. Ruby sees her sister. Yang, please don't say it. Yang, too late, I'm blind. TOC, two eyes in that guy's chest. Blaker, I don't think he's a serious person. Velvet, I don't believe it either. And Danmachi, Welf, what kind of creature or monster is it? But rather it is a being or has a peculiar armor. Welf, you believe it, Camilla said, looking at his partner. Camilla, you have. I don't know. Ray, what do you think it is? Inko, no SE. Aaron, serious. It's time because he stands up, are the order, we are the future, he said to start walking. We are your god, he said to finally reveal himself as, we are everything, we are Ultron Sigma. Now no one had words when they saw that the person responsible for those attacks was a robot. I don't know. In what appeared to be the League of Villains' new lair, they were watching closely. Shigaraki, they're kidding me that a robot is responsible for this, scratching his neck. Dabi, well, from what happened at Mutsufatsu, I'd say he did a good job. In DXD, Rise of him, this has to be a joke. Ecleid, a robot ruined and took credit for the attack. This won't stay like this. A Renminter, Salem, and wow, this is unexpected that a robot would do that. Ultron Sigma, and if you ask about the attacks, well, let's just say that not only his home was the first thing. The project was something that surprised everyone. There were the 4 lands, from the beginning of the FIC, but also presenting 2 more lands. Ultron Sigma, if you ask, the theory of parallel Earths or the multiverse exists, and we attack on those Earths. A remnant. Weiss, so there is that. Indra, and that junk says I attacked them. Ultron Sigma, but each Earth also has something surprising. Everyone saw that the 6 lands were blown away, so that each one was surrounded by 6 lands. Ultron Sigma, their Earths are like the same universe that connects with 6 other Earths. For example, the DXD Earths are connected to the world of the idiot Naruto Uzumaki, said, showing what happened on that Earth. And Danmachi, Hestia, seriously, he's an idiot. I wouldn't even let him into my family. Bell, you have the same. I don't know. Asuna, seriously, they fell so fast for someone who claims to be strong or a god. Ochako, but in the end he condemned himself. Inko, it definitely surpasses the idiocy of men. In DXD, an idiot who is connected to us, how horrible. Ultron Sigma, but now it's time for my plan. Nobody understood, but they were surprised that the 2 gems in his body shone where 2 of the recently shown lands shone blue and red, and the others in different colors. MHA green, DXD purple, Danmachi amarillo, Renmin naranja. Ultron Sigma, it is time for those Earths to be one. He launched some rays towards the sky where each Earth suffered tremors, while the 6 Earths and the other Earths began to spin, and faster when they come together more, generating a great glow. Imagine that they are the 36 lands, with Aaron. Aaron stands up, everyone is fine. Asuna, Shark, Izuku, what happened? Ochako, someone wrote down the truck's license plate, she said, removing a napkin from her head. Inko, nothing serious happened. Where am I? They heard that to see that there were people they had never met or races, and not only that, they went out to see with surprise that the city had buildings and beings that were not from their land. Kan Kenichi. Kenichi, it's okay Kaneko. Kaneko, hi, where the hell am I? They see that there were also people or beings never seen before, and when they left Kyoto it was the same in Mutsufatsu but more peculiar creatures with powers. Kan Ashen. Ashen, Okay, that was weird. Belle, you have. Hey, what are you? And there were also people with non-medieval clothes, and when they came out now the kingdom didn't look like one but almost like a city with magic and technology. With Indra, Ruby, they're fine. John, hi, hey, doesn't it feel like there's something weird? Nora, it will be because of them, he said, pointing at unknown people or beings or fawns, and when they came out Vale was also different. Eren, maybe. Kenichi, that junk. Ashen, Ultron Sigma. Indra, that bastard. The four talking at the same time in their places or wherever they are. The worlds collide. That day it was revealed that a cybernetic being made it so that no villain from those Earths could collide 36 worlds, and that is just the beginning and also the rebirth of new heroes from two universes that collided and defeated evil. Land, if some of you saw the final prologue, I want to ask for a little help when the 36 lands were shown, so I would like you to help me put the other lands that are related to one of the 6 lands. Here we go, although I will put a name so you take into account which one it would be. MHA Land, One Punch Man, DxD Earth, Naruto, Tiara Damachi, Tate no Yusha, Tiara RWBY, Hunter x Hunter, Marvel Earth, Capcom Land. Well, I hope you collaborate in putting the Earths that were collided into the story, so I hope for good collaboration. See you there. Clash 5, New Life on New Earth, 90 days after the Great Collision. Eren, 90 days have passed when our lives that we have lived our whole lives when the day now called the Great Collision lived. At first problems and fears happened to the beings that are not from our lands that happened as fights or almost wars that lasted almost 2 months. But luckily with the help of important leaders that were those lands they managed to establish peace treaties with any being or race of the earth, although of course you also have to deal with the Protestants, even gods. But there are beings that do not listen to them, especially a flat goddess and a tantrum goddess. Anyway, but great changes happened. The government of heroes of my home has ceased to exist since, thanks to an organization called the Hero Association, there is no longer a need to have a hero license since they do not see it as necessary, and putting an end to that government, and converted the hero academies, which once were normal academies. They only put the hero courses as a military course, meaning everyone can be a hero regardless of whether they have powers or not. The top of heroes is no longer very important since one of those Earths has incredible superheroes, among them one that is the Justice League, especially a hero named Superman is now the most beloved hero, surpassing Almight, and with him he put an end to the discrimination of the Quirkless and the powers of villains, although of course it also leaves a cursed blonde narcissistic and son of a bitch hero in bad shape along with an organization that Speedwagon tries to overthrow, but also something. Incredible Superman was able to defeat AFO in just 3 minutes, but he managed to escape. With the new hero system, they now clean the history of heroes who were used by the Heroic Commission doing dirty missions or killings for the government, among them the heroine Lady Nagant, although Hawks is being watched since he was apparently loyal to them and Endeavor did not let him get close to him, and Fuyumi, who finished him off since she was apparently a target of the Commission. Also, a new program called Hunters or Adventurers was opened because one of those 4 lands had lands with monsters and beasts where they spread throughout the world, and so many Quirkless took advantage of that to be hunters and adventurers until there are few heroes who are heroes and hunters. Among them are me and Mirko since he gets excited about fighting monsters. Even Stain became a hunter since there are also bounty hunters and it is legal. On an island closer to the Pacific of Japan and Africa, a clan called Uzumakis appeared and brought back where they were able to rebuild it, but also a refuge for the fawns and the demi-humans, and the leader is an Uzumaki with a strong character who they say died, but it seems she was still alive and restored. Speaking of that, the ninja villages are divided in each part of the world, but the biggest problem was Konoha since they are corrupted by a council of elders who wanted power, but with the help of some people we overthrew that government, and the Kages are at peace, and there is no need to have a council. Likewise, the councils of each place no longer exist, although of course many did not agree, but they ended up in prison. I also discovered that 2 of the Earths that just came out have more superheroes where they had more powerful heroes, but unfortunately I found out that they were the first victims of Ultron Sigma, and that he killed most of the heroes of those Earths. I mean all the heroes that come out in all the Marvel vs. Capcom games from the first to Infinite. Many of them were friends, comrades, couples or families of them who have tried to stop Ultron Sigma but fell, according to an interview with an inventor named Richards who possessed 2 very powerful gems, and I began to investigate about that because when they collided I saw how 2 of those gems in Ultron's Sigma, maybe that's the cause of the Earth's colliding. The curious thing about one of those places is an advanced kingdom in Africa where the current leader there, and the leader of the Sand Village had a meeting with them, and in exchange he offered me a sample of the metal they possessed, and I told him that this could be given to some trained hunters and not for evil, and the defense of all. In exchange I would give them some speedwagon to protect the kingdom, and they accepted, although of course they invited me to their wedding. Apparently they started a relationship when 1 month passed after the collision. Narrates Aaron. I know it was a lot of work to adapt to this, especially those who are from medieval or fantasy lands, but we were able to handle it, and we will continue like this. But many of us here have a goal, or is it just me? And it is to stop Ultron's Sigma. Smile Star Agency New Tokyo. NT. For those who played Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, or who know it as in this FIC, some cities or territories were also merged, so there will be names like that, but if you have ideas, give me ideas for the other cities. Merge cities ideas. Wakanda is also included in the most recognized agency now and founded by Aaron Joestar after he graduated. Due to the collision, he created his own agency, and by the new rules he is in charge of sending missions whether they are heroes or hunters, since in addition to offices he converted it more or less like a center or more or less a mission guild. In the main office of the building was the Joestar asleep at his desk. Aaron, sleeping and snoring a little. 5. Aaron, oh but what a thing, wakes up suddenly. I see that Ajo does work. Aaron, sees a woman as a secretary. Jessica. Jessica, it seems that you put your effort into your work. Jessica Lopez. Aaron, sorry, I've had rough days. Jessica, I see, well I'll bring you this, she said, giving him a bunch of papers. Aaron, requests? Jessica, that and emergencies for them to accept missions for the heroes and hunters. Aaron, hi, I can see it. Looking at the papers, well I'll need help from Aizu. Aizu appears next to him. My name is Sir. Both, they get scared. Jessica, Aizu, please don't do that. Aizu, sorry. Aaron _ since you're here, how's the status of the agency and the workers? Aizu does a scan. Everything is in order. Many missions in progress, but little by little. Aaron, good. Aizu, Lady Yuki will come now and with the children. Jessica, TCH, clicks her tongue a little jealously. Aaron, I see. They hear a knock on the door, and they think they will enter to see Asuna with some flashy clothes and with 2 children. Asuna, here comes Ajo-kun. Aaron, hi, and also Mahoro and Katsuma. He said to see that the children go to him, and hugs them. Both, Dad, happy. Aaron, I see that these brothers had a good day or not. Habitat Shark. Jessica, oh yeah, I almost forgot you'll have a meeting right now with the president of the Heroes Association. Aaron, Asuna, can you take the children to the agency's recreation room and games room? Asuna, hey, let's go kids. She takes the children to another room while Jessica and Aiza seem to be grooming Aaron. Aaron, well, I look weird in my suit. Aaron's suit. Aizu, it suits him well. Jessica, simple but good. The door is knocked on and allowed to pass to see 3 people. An older man, a green-haired woman in a black dress, and an older man but wearing martial arts clothing. Aaron, good morning, President Sitch. Sitch, I'm glad to see you again, Mr. Joestar. Aaron, you too, Mr. Bang and Miss Fubuki. Bang. The feeling is mutual, young apprentice. Fubuki, thanks for the compliment, Ajo-kun. Jessica, of course, when the Earths collided, as Asuna said, the number of interested parties or competitions increased, annoyed and jealous. Aaron, well, what can I offer you, Mr. Sitch? Sitch, simple boy, as you are the most reliable since the Earths collided. When I knew what their heroes of your home were doing, we worked hard to change the Society of Heroes, and with the support of other organizations and heroes of one of those Earths. Aizu, and of course with the power and kindness of Superman, he said, pointing to a photo of the Joestar squeezing the hero's hand. Bang, that young man has a golden heart to do that. Fubuki, and very cute for an alien, sees everyone looking at her strangely. I'm talking about an attitude almost like that of a good boy. Aaron, well yes, types of virtual computer. With Superman he gained a great popularity that surpasses that of Almight in his time of glory, seeing a rating of the hero. Sitch, well anyway, I was talking with the most important organizations and teams of heroes and hunters, and they wanted to know, would you like to be part of the Hero Association, your agency? That surprised the Joestar and his companions at that proposal. Aaron, They want to put me in the Hero Association. Hi, since we discovered that the Hero Commission has rejected many proposals that it has sent to other governments of the world about your ideas of heroes. An example being to remove the licenses and have the heroes registered. Jessica, it's just that here in Japan they used to be power-hungry. Aizu, and a huge list of rejected proposals, although they had planned to accept it if the Speedwagon Foundation were with them, and proposals of marriages of quirks with the Joestar blood. Aaron. And they don't know what Speedwagon did with those budgets, especially that old lady and Ms. Wadia. Annoyed by those two whose whereabouts no one knows. Well, you have time, stands up, you can call us. Bang, think about it calmly, young man. Fabiki. Well, Eijo-kun, I hope you decide, and we will treat you well if you accept. They withdrew, leaving them with a great silence. Aaron. I, as part of the association. Jessica. What a surprise this is. In Kono, Kyoto. There is the city of Kyoto, but due to the collision of the Earths it seems it merged with a village called Konoha, where Naruto's old home was, where in one part you see Kenichi seeing his new home. Kenichi. So much work that it cost me, but it was worth it to have my own house. I'm glad, Kenichi-senpai. Kenichi. Thanks, Kaneko. Seeing the Nikomata, but she was dressed as a shinobi. I see you had a good day. Kaneko. Hi, being shinobi is entertaining. Kenichi. You know, what do you think if we go out to eat? Kaneko thinks about going to the ramen stand. Chibi face. Kenichi. I admit it, this ninja village has the best ramen in the world. It's a relief that their restaurant merged with Ari's and now business is increasing for everyone. Kaneko. That's right. They were both about to leave, but they stopped. Kenichi. Something is offered to you, Hokage, seeing one of the leaders of Kono, Kyoto. Tsunade. That's right, young Uzumaki. In fact, I wanted to talk to you about something, and I heard that you're going to the restaurant. Do you mind if I accompany you? Kenichi, what do you say, Kaneko? Kaneko. Hi is better company, she. Tsunade. Thank you, Kaneko-chan. They both headed to Ari's restaurant, but now it's bigger, and has more customers since it merged with a ramen stand and now sells the best ramen in the village. Now it's called Neo Ichiraka. Tsunade. It seems that hard work brought rewards. Kenichi. Hi, when it was Ari-san's restaurant, my friends and I worked to keep it going, but with this, and the owners of the old Ichiraku, and with the sale of their ramen, the clientele increased greatly. Kaneko. Hello? The three entered the restaurant, and, like every day, there was a large clientele of shinobi, yokai, and humans, but there were also more employees who attended and served the food, but what they mostly served was ramen. Kenichi. I don't know what made that ramen the main dish for the restaurant. Tsunade. It's not for nothing that it's the best ramen in the village. Before this, then they sat in an empty seat where they were served. Kenichi. Well, Tsunade, what did you want to tell me? Tsunade. Well, Kenichi, I had a talk with Yasaka. Because thanks to you, Kono Kyoto prospers in peace, and more than that, you made us dissolve the Council of Elders, and more than that, you killed Danzo and his lackeys with your own hands. Kenichi. I'll say it. Are you leaders or just decoration while a shitty council does whatever it wants? Tsunade. Yes, you're right, but there's something else. Then talk to some of the Kyoto Council and clans. Would you like to have your own territory, son Uzumaki? Something that surprised Kenichi and Kaneko. Kenichi. I have my own neighborhood and clan. Kaneko. But I feel something, maybe she's in the clan restoration program. Blushes imagining that, and of course jealous too. Akatsuki in a part almost near England. There you can see Ashen, but now his clothes were different due to the modernism where they were. Ashen. Looking at everything. Something's wrong, Ashen-kun. Ashen. Sees an Amazon. Oh, nothing. Tsubaki, I just saw all the changes in the kingdom. Tsubaki. Hi, with that thing they call technology, and that makes things a little easier for us. Ashen. Hi. He sees a lot of activity from adventurers and hunters. There's been a lot of activity lately. Tsubaki. When the collision happened, it was discovered that the dungeons were destroyed and the monsters came out and caused a lot of activity among adventurers and hunters, although of course causing families to no longer see it as necessary because the gods of some lands view ours with contempt. Ashen, how to forget that? Especially that Freya beat ours, although it disturbed me how the gods we know are, especially the Greek ones, where Zeus is. Tsubaki. I knew he was a womanizer but trembles, this is much worse. Ashen. Let's go to the Lady of Abundance. Tsubaki. Done. Both were what the Lady of Abundance is, which was larger than almost 2 floors and many clients, whether adventurers or hunters. Chloe. Ashen-chan. Tsubaki-chan. Ashen. Yes, they have more clients. Chloe. Now in this new world many new hunters and adventurers are interested, but of course we also have new employees, although the curious thing is that we received like 2 twins with high-low powers. Ashen, seriously surprised and interested in that. Chloe, since you are here there is a person who wants to talk to you, Ashen-kun. Ashen, and who? Chloe, there, pointing to a table. They went where the cat indicated to get a surprise from both of them. Both, Orion-sama. Orion, hello young phantom. Ashen, sits with Tsubaki. Orion, I'm sure you have questions about why I called you. Ashen, yes. Orion, it is due to the Council of the Gods. A meeting will be held with one of the beings that comes from one of the 6 Earths that collided. Tsubaki, what you're telling us. Orion, that being knows who Ultron Sigma really is and also those gems he has. Ashen, that's true. On the same day of the collision we saw that he had 2 gems, one on his head and the other on his chest. Orion, I see you noticed it too well, but also something else. Ashen, and what would it be? Orion, because now families are no longer important. Now tell me, would you like to form your own family? Ashen, not my own family perhaps. Orion, hi, you would have your own clan of adventurers. Both surprised. In New Vale location a few kilometers away from New Metro City, Indra can be seen from Vale Academy seeing the new environment and buildings of the collision. Indra, Weiss, don't try to surprise me. I heard your steps but I rather perceived your new perfume. Weiss, my bad, pouts. Indra, could you see your sister or your family? Weiss, hi, my mother is fine. Apparently she is starting the Schnee company again. My brother enrolled in a high school in New Metro City, I think it was called Harrison High, and he is doing well. He even has a partner. Smiles for his little brother. Indra, I'm surprised that this kid made it to high school and has a partner, and at first it seemed like a nuisance to me. Weiss, yeah, I guess Jack was out of our lives are better. Indra, and Winter, how is she? Weiss, she entered a secret organization, but she has the weirdest name, Eto, sure the whatever, although a surprise she has a partner. Indra, and who? Crow, jokingly. Weiss, haha, funny guy, you forget that he's dating one of those heroines from New Metro City. Indra, hi, I must admit that he chose a good woman, although she is more serious and puts that alcoholic in his place, and he is tamed. Weiss, yes, even Ruby and Yang were shocked by that. He. Indra, I'd say they dropped an idol. Weiss, yes, I see you're doing well, young Drangneel. Both turned to see Ajpin. Indra, what's going on? Ajpin, I received a letter of departure from the Hunters Association. Indra, and what is it? Ajpin, you and young Ark are planning to turn them into high-class hunters. Indra, dear Chibi. Weiss, it will. Ajpin, well, I await your response. They withdraw to leave the couple. Ajpin, Glinda walks beside him. Thinks it was a good idea, director. Ajpin, I know what Glinda thinks, but both of them are born hunters. I'm sure they'll make it. Glinda, I say the same. Unknown location. In a throne room, Ultron Sigma is seen sitting with some villains. Ultron Sigma. So how are the biological forms doing now, Weskier? According to the computer, in these 90 days they have managed to establish a good society on Earth, now that it contains many homes and areas from the 36 Earths that collided. Utron Sigma, okay, now we will begin Phase 1. Doom, I'll give everyone notice to prepare everything. Ultron Sigma, excellent, do it. Both, yes, Lord. Ultron Sigma, retire. Ultron Sigma, we leave you to enjoy this piece. Now we begin with the plan to turn everything into metal, he said while the eyes on his face and chest shone more. Lands, official and confirmation.
Let me know in the comments below if you guys want the next part. Also check out my other video that has been shown and left. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video please like and share this video. And have a fantastic day. Bye.